Every story begins with a spark. For this one, it's mint green, ambitious, clever, mischievous. The kind of person who smiles sweetly while secretly plotting how to beat you at your own game. Welcome to the beginning of the Not-So-Berry legacy. Meet Araminta Berry. Mint to her core, cool, collected, and maybe just a little bitter. She has two loves in life, science and chaos. By day, she's on her way to becoming the greatest scientist of her time. By night, she's plotting her next prank. Some call her ambitious, others call her mischievous. She just calls it fun. But every legacy has to start somewhere. And this one starts in a little mint green house with the biggest ambitions you've ever seen. Araminta Berry starts her journey in the middle of Strangerville, which is quite fitting given her knack for discovery and science. The desert air hums with secrets, and she's determined to uncover every last one. On paper, she's ambitious, mischievous, and just a little bit materialistic. But in practice, she's a whirlwind. Her ambition drives her to climb the ranks of the scientist career. A woman who won't settle until she's at the very top of her field. Her mischief. Well, that's the fun part. Araminta lives for pranks, clever schemes, and the thrill of outsmarting everyone in the room. And materialistic. Let's just say she loves her success polished, displayed, and a little bit glamorous. Our founder begins her legacy not in some grand lab, but in her basement, dreaming of the greatest science lair she'll one day command. After drifting through visions of bubbling beakers and world-changing inventions, she decides to get a head start on her work tasks. With a book in hand, she sparks her very first scientific breakthrough. The first idea is minor, but the second, oh, that one hits differently. A mischievous spark hatches in her mind. The ultimate prank weapon, a freeze ray. But genius doesn't run on empty. So she turns her attention to food. Garden salad. Simple, right? Except cooking, even when it doesn't involve actual cooking, is not her strong suit. Her curiosity tends to wander, and she starts wondering if unconventional substances might enhance an otherwise plain salad. Oh, and one more thing you should know about our founder. She's a vegetarian. So, this salad, as disastrous as it looks, it's the best she's got. After finishing her questionable salad, Araminta hears a knock at the door. The welcome wagon. Perfect timing, right? Except, these aren't ordinary neighbors. These are Strangerville neighbors. And the second she opens the door, she knows something is off. They don't speak proper Simlish, just eerie, garbled phrases that don't make any sense. Their eyes are vacant, their smiles too wide. Araminta tries everything. Polite conversation, bad jokes, even a firm slap across the face. Nothing. They don't flinch, they don't react, they just stare. Something is very wrong in Strangerville. And our founder, she's just walked into the middle of it. But mysteries like these can't be solved in a day. Tomorrow she begins as a lab technician. So for now, rest comes first. Day 2 begins with a little cleanup. Last night's dishes out of the way before Araminta waltzes into the restroom to psych herself up for her very first day at the lab. A pep talk in the mirror, a quick brush of the teeth, and she's ready. Almost. Breakfast proves to be more of a challenge. Cooking isn't exactly her specialty, but somehow she manages. Unfortunately, her so-called guides suggested eggs. Eggs that may or may not have come from an obsidian chicken. Oops, not exactly vegetarian-friendly. She's not thrilled. But duty calls. And today, science waits for no one. Araminta arrives at Future Sim Labs, greeted with her first list of scientific assignments. The halls are alive with activity, co-workers like Nia rushing past, but she isn't nervous, not at all. She's been here before, back in her college days, and the place already feels like home. She strides straight to the main lab, where the invention robot waits. Confidently, she shares her dream of creating something mischievous, something bold, a freeze ray. The robot whirs and hums, assuring her it's possible, and with her sharp mind and credentials, almost effortless. For Araminta, this is only the beginning. While making her rounds, Araminta greets a co-worker whose name already slipped her mind. Still, the flash of green hair is enough to remind her of her chief of mischief aspiration. She pulls one of her favorite gags, the old "what's that on your shirt" trick. The reaction? Less than amused, off-putting even. In her mind, what a bore. She struts over to Nia at the front desk to complain about how dull the encounter was. But Nia, far too busy with her own tasks, brushes her off and redirects her energy toward the day's assignment, analyzing crystals sent in by a local science kids group. No problem for Araminta, this is her element. She runs the tests with ease and, while she's at it, fiddles with the invention robot to see if her theories would work. To her delight, they do. And honestly, between the co-workers who don't get her humor and a robot that always hums in agreement, she's already thinking the invention robot might just become her favorite colleague. Araminta and the robot finish their first invention, the momentum conserver. She grins. Finally, something that really keeps the momentum going. On her way to the restroom, Miho complains about the toilet being clogged, and Araminta, ever the helpful scientist, offers to fix it. Her fix, tossing in a mysterious tablet guaranteed to explode later. She doesn't stick around to see the results. Instead, she waters the lab plants, the precious ingredients for future serums, before her stomach leads her upstairs to the break room. There, she tries to crack jokes with Ikram and Charlotte. Ikram, however, isn't in the mood. Araminta seizes the chance to antagonize him, pulling her usual buzzer prank. And in return, Ikram throws his drink in her face. The break room erupts into chaos as the two brawl. And then, they brawl again. Charlotte, meanwhile, doesn't lift a finger. She just watches, sipping her coffee, enjoying the drama like it's front-row entertainment. Before either of them could recover from round two, the shift ended. And somehow, our founder got promoted. Apprentice inventor. Who knew brawling in the break room was such a fast track to success? After a day of chaos, Araminta finally makes it home, only to get a call from Nia. An invite to the Rouge Note to celebrate her promotion. Naturally, Araminta says yes, because what's a victory without a little nightlife? Covered in luck, Araminta shows up on time, a few co-workers already there to celebrate. But curiously, Nia slips away into the night without a word. One man seems interested in her until she tries her buzzer prank. Instant turn-off. Undeterred, she heads to the bar for drinks, where Blossom, a co-worker she had not met, slides in beside her. Blossom makes it clear she doesn't approve of Araminta brawling with Ikram, or Miho's less-than-warm welcome story. But Araminta, she doesn't back down. With Chief of Mischief as her aspiration, she eggs Blossom on instead. After all, she only needs one more person to dislike her to complete level 1 of her grand mischief plan. Without a moment's notice, Araminta and Blossom are trading sharp words. Araminta even teases that Blossom and Ikram would make the perfect couple, since neither of them knows how to take a joke. After the brawl, our founder dusts herself off, milestone complete, and eyes already set on her next level of mischief. The next morning, Araminta wakes up hungover but determined. A promotion means finishing her science assignment. The only problem? Reading. And for her, reading is apparently a real challenge. After a few failed attempts at focus, she gives up, grabs some food, and takes a shower to face the new day. Back at work, Araminta clocks in and heads straight for her favorite partner in crime, the invention robot she proudly named Clanky McThinks-a-Lot. Together, they begin work on her prized idea, the freeze ray. This is where Araminta shines. Her passion and performance in the art of science make her stand out from the rest. Sure, she's mischievous, but her talent far surpasses her co-workers. And that's exactly why Future Sim Labs tends to overlook any issues that end up reported to HR. With the invention complete, Araminta decides it's time for a test run. And who better than Blossom? At first, she presents it innocently, like a simple demonstration. But come on, this is Araminta and Blossom we're talking about. And to even the score, Araminta is confronted by Nia, who tells her she shouldn't be using the invention this way. Araminta asked her about why she vanished from the lounge and accused her of leaving her left to be ambushed by Blossom. She pulls out the freeze ray. Revenge served ice cold. Blossom and Nia may be frozen, but their opinions of Araminta Berry still ice cold. Our founder continues her duties, paying no mind to the two frozen statues behind her. Really just office decor at this point. Instead, she dives into what she loves most, the art of science. Experimenting, tinkering, and even squeezing in some of her reading. This is where Araminta shines, not just mischievous, but truly brilliant. And then, her phone rings. A surprise call from none other than Grayson Simmers, CEO of Social Bunny and Cupid's Corner. A date request. Araminta hasn't entertained romance since her college days, so with curiosity, and maybe a little desperation, she says yes. Opportunity, after all, comes in many forms. And yes, eventually, Blossom and Nia were set free from the grips of ice. That night, Araminta arrived at Laguna del Abrazo in Ciudad Enamorada to meet Grayson Simmers. He wasn't exactly on time, leaving her to kill time listening to a so-called comedian who thought bad jokes counted as a set. Spoiler, they didn't. She even grabbed a drink to survive it. When Grayson finally showed, he managed to win her over in the oddest way, with a round of Who's Up party game box. He was nervous, painfully so, but Araminta could tell. With her playful charm, she eased him into the night. And slowly, conversation began to flow. As the night went on, Araminta learned a lot about Grayson. Most importantly, that he was wealthy. That little detail tickled her materialistic nature like nothing else. What didn't tickle her? Discovering she was absolutely terrible at party games. Just when things seem to settle, another woman swoops in, trying to wedge herself into the conversation with some insidious request for Grayson's attention. Araminta, not having it. She shut it down fast. Like, shoo, I don't care if you're his long-lost cousin, he's mine tonight. Petty? Maybe. But the jealous spark only pulled her closer to Grayson. Apparently, nothing fuels attraction quite like a little competition. Grayson was so impressed, he asked Araminta to date exclusively. She said yes, numbers exchanged, a hug to seal it. Araminta Berry ended the night not just with a promotion to celebrate, but a brand new romance. And for her, love is just another experiment, one that could be her most explosive yet.